baseball and stuff.
I would do it again. I would be more prepared to keep myself.
Yeah.
Fully charged during the
Again, I won't be wearing a helmet.
Isn't that him?
Yeah.
iPad or something.
We settle on the way.
Download a movie or something. I mean, I did have an audio book. I kind of listened to it on the way back,
Hospital
but
again or something, but.
it wasn't
he
keeping
explained
me
to about her
occupied.
medication and stuff. I said, never get married. Everything.
10 years.
That's nice.
You asked me about 5 questions. That's about it.
Still in jail. In a while.
Oh, real
I didn't
estate's
think it was
driving me
good for
crazy.
10 years.
So crazy. Since you've been over the court
3 years or 5 years.
together and have everything done at once, you're all over the place.
Maybe it was
like 20 years ago.
Oh,
but
it used to be so
Passport's a
easy.
little longer than
passport.
Go there, people have the money, the bank's there, they have the money, you file the paper.
That's the only thing you have to passport number.
4 or 5 hour deal. You're running to some bank attorney office and you got to pitch up to the seller attorney and then you got to go to court. You know?
the court. I mean, clerks.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was
They'll let
down
you
in
do
Southern
that.
Tier
You
for
can't bring
the
clients.
hottest of the hot days, and I do have air conditioning there. I left mine on
And they want it,
here,
and they
just to
tell
keep
you,
the house a
no,
little bit
You can't do anything in here. All you can do is take a number and
refrigerator stuff.
I looked at the charge.
You know, you put it all back and back.
Oh, really? Did you do it?
My basement was flooded. The air conditioner was dripping through the furnace. So now I have no ventilation because everything's gutted, waiting for perks.
Oh, it's cool off.
So I get better to cool off.
Sellers didn't tell me.
I ordered cooler weather for tonight, tomorrow.
They thought they could just pay.
Well, you got your order.
Yeah, I know. What else I can come up with? It rained too, I ordered rain.
Did you order me the winning lottery ticket numbers?
I tried that, that's why I don't have the power to do it.
Checks off that.
oh yeah.
Give it in cash.
I get psychic vibes every now and then, but that isn't long. I've been trying for years.
We haven't heard anything about that.
What's my number? What's my number?
Where do I buy the quick pick from? Which store do I go
Yeah,
to?
you're right.
Then you don't even have to worry about what your number's moved.
It's not working, I've been trying. I don't know what it is. It's not working. All right, I'm ready when you're ready. Hello, Cindy. Are you coming, garden walk this year?
Oh,
Well-
really? Oh, screwed back out.
You're welcome, I don't know if I'll have
there are
anything
too many
else.
things going on.
Sandy
Yeah,
has
he's got
been
too much
wiping
going on,
me
so he
out.
said
I figured,
he's back
yeah.
out. So
No lilies, they're gone. Down
that's why I
there.
didn't hear from you.
Pursue it a
just
little?
I thought about it, but
Hostas are
we couldn't get a
all
third
chewed
party,
up.
so
Yeah, I think you're better though.
yeah.
They love it.
Plus the price would have been.
It was a little too high.
I have a-
Yeah, it's a little too high.
I have a
People are in
young,
real estate.
one son, first year having a baby, dog, and she just lays there like from me to you, and she doesn't get up for anybody. And then Junior's right there.
They have tenants upstairs, Kyle?
They work up there.
Wait.
Their own office.
It's yours.
Give it to Tony.
I use it when you're out here.
Okay, we're gonna get started. If we could please just stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please, Cindy. Here.
Here.
Anthony Gordon.
Here.
Joseph Keith.
Here.
Lawrence Korzenowski.
Here.
Michael Red.
Here. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. It's a meeting of the Planning Board of the Town of Lancaster. Please keep in mind that we are an advisory and recommending board and not a final decision-making body. At this point, we'll look at the meeting minutes from our prior meeting. Ask if there's any additions, deletions, or comments from the board.
Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second from somebody?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Next, we'll move on to the communications list. And as a result of our previous meeting being canceled, it's a little lengthy. Any questions from the board? Good? Nope. Okay. We'll move on to our first case of the night. It is project number 2200, TJR Products.
Good evening. Bob Blood, GPI, representing TJR Products, and Mr. Frank Adolph, who is also with us this evening. When we were here last in early March, the board requested we provide evidence of various approvals with different agencies associated with the project, specifically Erie County Water Authority, Erie County Highway, and Erie County Health Department. We've obtained these approvals, submitted them to the building department. I have original copies with me here this evening. We've also executed a stormwater maintenance agreement per town regulations and filed that with the county clerk. And unless we have any other comments or questions.
Thank you, Mr. Flood. At this point, I'll ask the board, any questions or comments?
No.
None? Ed, anything from engineering?
No, from my end.
Okay. Emily, anything from legal? Matt, building department?
Nothing. Thank you.
Great. We will look for a motion then.
I'll move that we accept the site plan. and
Site plan.
approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second by Tony. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Great. Motion carried.
Good evening.
Thank you. Have a good evening. We will now move on to project number 2, which is project 1050, 131 Pavement Road. Hello, Mr. Pandolfi.
Good evening, Anthony Pandolfi, project engineer. Last time we were here with this project, the board recommended a negative secret declaration that was accepted by the town board, which allowed us to then go in front of ZBA. We requested 4 variances for the project. 3 of them were existing setback variances. The 4th one being a variance for the stormwater detention. All 4 variances were granted by the ZBA. And so I just want to emphasize again that any setback variances were existing, and everything we're proposing does meet town code. So if there's any questions or comments, I can take them.
Cindy, did you want to pull that one up on here, please? Do we have it? I thought we had all 3 of them up. While she's looking for that, any questions or comments from the board?
The C100. Yep.
I saw your tabs up top. I thought you had it already preloaded. Sorry about that. Any questions or comments from the board? No? Okay. Ed, anything from engineering?
No, the variance took care of my.
Okay. Emily, anything from legal? Matt, building?
Variance took care of the zoning issues. There was a comment way back at the beginning of the process about amending the existing special use permit. Any recommendations or modifications to that permit from this board to be adopted?
Supervisor Larry, I'm sorry I didn't see you there for the last case, so I'll make sure that I get you this time. Any questions or comments from you, sir?
Yeah, I do have a question. Last time we had a commercial next to residential, we required a fence to be put between the two parcels. Is anything like that going to be done in this case?
Matt, Matt, the code? How's the code read on that? Do you remember? Do you know offhand?
Adding the proximity, there's a natural barrier to the north of this thing with residential occupancy. To the north is a town park, to the east with vegetation on it, there's some natural barriers there.
I just want to point out the closest residence is on this property. It's the owner's residence, so
Yeah.
not,
That's the use, I mean, that's the
Yeah.
property that we're looking at. That's the
Right.
property
Right.
that's being amended.
Yeah.
It's protecting the residential occupancies around this. This is zoned like commercial, I believe. We changed the zoning to accommodate the use in 2020. And those barriers are meant to protect the adjoining properties if there is one already there. Putting a fence along the north property line, I believe may encroach into the floodplains, but, some environmentals that we really don't want to mess with.
So the answer would be no, no fence.
I don't think it's warranted at this point, doesn't call for it. We didn't receive any comments from the neighboring property that we would use and kind of call for it.
And my next question is about millings. I made the mistake of putting millings in farmland and saw all sorts of oil being washed off of these millings. You're talking about what's going to happen to the oil that's coming off of these, or these some type that's pre-washed or something, because, again, you're in the park area there.
Yep.
The variances that they received, I just want to make sure, nothing to worry about there.
Mr. Pandolfi, can you speak to that at
if-
all?
I mean, as far as oil coming from any of the cars, that would be done within the auto body shop itself, which.
No, I think he's talking about the millings. The millings.
themselves.
Oh.
It comes from the roads. I bought some one time that had a lot of oil on there, and it had to watch it drip off and never used millings again. So I see big piles of millings over there. Are these something that are pre-washed or something, or are we going to have oil dripping down into the?
The millings came right off of Pavement Road from the county. As far as I know, that they just milled the road and dumped them.
Ed, you know?
I would say the pavement they built was pretty old. Being that they have the variance on stormwater, there is no detention pond to filter that stuff. The waterway to the north will actually put in a filter for a quality perspective.
And the roadside ditch that runoff will go through up too. Will
Common system at the roadside.
Roadside county pavement, yes. They're technically out on the MS border, east side of pavement. So, I would say, if we were to notice something, from observation of the machine or something, we contact them if it's listed in charge. Unless we see something, it's hard to pinpoint. But it's it's pretty visible where as we drive by and we see oil machining coming out, and then, there's a discharge process we can go through this thing.
Then the last thing is, they got the variance on the water issue from town. Wasn't there something from the state, or did that already get taken care of?
doesn't meet the threshold.
Yeah, it doesn't meet the size requirement.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. At this point, look for a motion from the board.
I'll make a motion to approve the project as provided.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
Thank you.
Motion carried. Thank you. And our last case for the evening. Project number 2440, 4106 Walden Avenue.
Good evening, everyone. Kevin Kirk, Uniline Development. I'm back here. Just kind of take a couple minutes here, just go over what's happened since the last time I was here about a month ago. Basically, after plenty of internal discussion, we decided to remove the curb cuts along pavement. It just seemed like there was enough people that weren't too excited about that. So in order to move the project along, we figured that was the best way to do this. The one thing I would say is I hope the board would be open to, down the road, if we do get tenants where maybe it becomes an issue and that curb cut might become a little more pressing, then maybe we'd have the opportunity to come back at a later time and discuss it further. But at this point, we're going to drop it.
Okay.
So that takes away a couple of issues that were outstanding last time. We do not have to go back before the town board, as was mentioned at the time. The other outstanding, I think one of the discussions was about building addresses. Our plan is to use an Eastport Drive address for these buildings. We intend on basically starting for this development, going 810 through 860 Eastport Drive. The thought is that we will start on the southwest corner and start with 100 Eastport and work through the site as we go. So this would be the last in that aspect along the drive and in the 800s for this project. I don't know if anybody has any concern about that, but I know that was a question.
Ed, Matt,
Is
either?
there a specific formula to get to the 800 block, or was it lineal footage of road?
It was basically just to kind of leave ourselves as much flexibility as possible. If it's a big issue, we're open. We're not.
Right,
dead set
but,
on it.
we can further that discussion. I just recall a formula-based
On lineal.
numbering system based on lineal footage.
Is that a town requirement or just?
It's assessment lingo.
Okay.
I can dive into that.
We're happy to work with the assessor and you on that.
I just feared that it may be, I don't know, 810 through 860. It's a pretty large site, so I don't know how.
Well, the 810 through 860 is only for these buildings.
Right.
So we would start with 100 for a larger, and we can go by tens. That's a lot of flexibility. I feel pretty good about having enough addresses.
Mr. Kirk, if you wouldn't mind, when you start pulling permits, if you want, make sure you work with the building department on the numbering system.
Definitely.
That would be beneficial for all parties.
Make sure you shoot for large tenants everywhere else.
Make it easier.
5 buildings, you'll have plenty of numbers.
I know. I would love nothing more than to be back next month with a couple of big tenants. So. A couple other issues that were outstanding. I know the water line easement for Mr. Schiller, that's been taken care of. We should be all set there. The stormwater maintenance agreement and landscape maintenance agreements are in our attorney's hands, and we'll get that taken care of. We can put that as a condition if that's okay with everybody. The one other issue was last time, I know there was a little bit of confusion about the subdivision. Just to kind of give everybody a heads up on that, we pulled back our subdivision to separate it from this. We are still working with that tenant. Most likely they're going to move to a different site at Eastport. So just to ease things and make this a lot less complicated, there is no subdivision involved with this. It's just site plan approval. Any other questions?
Appreciate you doing those things because it makes the project a lot cleaner and it makes this board's responsibility on this particular project a little less of a load to carry, both with that and the subdivision as well as the curb cuts onto pavement. Any questions or comments from the board at this point?
This project was going to be phased.
Yeah, the intention is to do the buildings, southernmost 3 buildings first. And we feel pretty optimistic they'll go pretty quick, so it might be a one right after another kind of phase.
Any other questions from the board? Ed?
No, they addressed the approvals requirement, or agreement in their hands.
Okay. Emily? Matt, anything from the building department?
The only thing I saw outstanding that we can probably work prior to the town board approvals was that landscape maintenance.
Yes, an agreement in place.
He just mentioned that. You're saying that's in the,
That's in the works. That's in our attorney's hands. We'll get that with the town. That's why I said if
So these-
everybody's okay, we can put that as a condition.
Wait that out, it's just the only outstanding item.
well,
We can make that a condition.
That wasn't the only,
I was making a note to make that a condition. Is that all right?
there were two
There are
conditions.
two
right?
Yep,
conditions.
the
that
stormwater and the
stormwater.
landscape.
Right.
Yep.
Are you good, Matt? Anything else?
It was, did they do stormwater?
They had.
You have it, okay.
We have it. The one tweak I am going to make is to put a new plan in there that removes the curb cut. That was one.
Thank you.
Anything else, Matt?
No, that's all, thank you.
Supervisor Leary?
I have nothing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do we do the motion first, or should we do seeker first? Seeker
Please do
first?
seeker.
Okay, we'll do seeker at this point then. Cable project first. Do seeker now.
You have a long form, or is it?
I do have a long form. This is a long form.
I'm looking to see what they told us here.
Mr. Kirk, we're going to go through the seeker if you want to just take a seat.
Sure. Thank you.
I mean, you can stand if you want. It's your choice.
Go ahead and start. By the time I get to some of the questions, you'll be to it.
Okay. Number 1, impact on land. Proposed action may involve construction on or physical alteration of the land surface of the proposed site.
Well, yeah,
So we have to go further then, right?
we have to go through.
Okay. Proposed action may involve construction on land where depth to water table is less than 3 feet.
No, it's over 6. That's what I was looking for.
Okay. Proposed action may involve construction on slopes of 15% or greater.
Oh, no.
Proposed action may involve construction on land where bedrock is exposed or generally within 5 foot of existing ground surface.
No.
Proposed action may involve the excavation and removal of more than 1,000 tons of natural material.
No.
Proposed action may involve construction that continues for more than 1 year or in multiple phases.
Potentially.
But it's
Right.
small.
So no or small impact, right? Proposed action may result in increased erosion, whether from physical disturbance or vegetation removal.
There'll be some vegetation removal, but there shouldn't be any erosion if they do their plans correctly.
So we'll say no or small.
We'll say small.
Okay. Proposed action is or may be located within a coastal erosion hazard area. No. So overall for that one, we can say no? Okay. Number 2, impact on geological features. Proposed action may result in the modification or destruction of or inhibit access to any unique or unusual landforms on the site.
No.
No. Number 3, impacts on surface water. Proposed action may affect one or more wetlands or other surface water bodies.
Not this site.
No.
No.
Number 4, impact on groundwater. Proposed action may result in new or additional use of groundwater or may have the potential to introduce contaminants to groundwater or an aquifer.
No.
Number 5, impact on flooding. Proposed action may result in development on land subject to flooding.
No.
Number 6, impacts on air. Proposed action may include a state-regulated air emission source. No.
That's a use thing, so no.
Number 7, impact on plants and animals. The proposed action may result in a loss of flora or fauna.
Minimal.
Minimal, yes.
So we'll have to go through it then. Proposed action may cause reduction in population or loss of individuals of any threatened or endangered species as listed by New York State or the federal government that use the site or are found on, over, or near the site.
Not that we know of, no.
Proposed action may result in reduction or degradation of any habitat used by any rare, threatened, or endangered species as listed by New York State or the federal government. No. Proposed action may cause reduction in population or loss of individuals of any species or special concern or conservation need as listed by New York State or the federal government that use the site or are found on, over, or near the site.
No.
Proposed action may result in a reduction or degradation of any habitat used by any species of special concern and conservation need as listed by New York State or the federal government.
No.
Proposed action may diminish the capacity of a registered national natural landmark to support the biological community it was established to protect. No. Proposed action may result in removal of or ground disturbance in any portion of a designated significant natural community. Nope. Proposed action may substantially interfere with nesting, breeding, foraging, or overwinter habitat for the predominant species that occupy or use the project site. No. Proposed action requires the conversion of more than 10 acres of forest, grassland, or any other regional or locally important habitat. No. Proposed action involves use of herbicides or pesticides.
I'm going to say no.
Okay. So then that one, number 7, would be an overall no then, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Number 8, impact on agricultural resources. Proposed action may impact agricultural resources.
No.
No. Number 9, impact on aesthetic resources. The land use of the proposed action are obviously different from or are in sharp contrast to current land use patterns between the proposed project and a scenic or aesthetic resource. No. Impact on historic and archaeological resources. Proposed action may occur in or adjacent to a historic or archaeological resource.
No.
Nope. Number 11, impact on open space and recreation. Proposed action may result in loss of recreational opportunities or reduction of an open space resource as designated in any adopted municipal open space plan.
No.
Number 12 is not applicable. Critical environmental areas, not applicable.
And not applicable.
Number 13, impact on transportation. Proposed action may result in a change to existing transportation systems. No. 14, impact on energy. Proposed action may cause an increase in the use of any form of energy.
Minor.
So I need to go through it then?
No, because it's all looking for questions about having to add more power plants and things.
Okay, so we'll say no. No.
No.
Impact on noise, odor, and light. Proposed action may result in an increase in noise, odors, or outdoor lighting.
Yeah.
Again, it's small matter, so no.
No. 16, impact on human health. Proposed action may have an impact on human health from exposure to new or existing sources of contaminants. No. 17, consistency with community plans. The proposed action is not consistent with adopted land use plans.
No, it is.
So that's a no. Yep. Consistency with community character. Proposed action is inconsistent with the existing community character. No. Okay, somebody look for somebody to make a motion then.
I'll make a motion for a negative.
I'll second it.
Get that, Cindy? All those in favor, negative declaration, recommendation? Say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say no. Okay, and now for the overall project. Look for a motion from the board.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the project site plan as is with conditions of the,
We have two conditions, approval for maintenance plan for stormwater, and maintenance plan for landscaping prior to obtaining
Prior to town approval.
town approval.
I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no.
And it wasn't a condition, but it was just a note to address the unit numbering system. That wasn't a condition, that was a,
Ask that you speak with the
Yeah,
building department
yeah.
before.
that was just guidance. It's kind of nice to have something out there after all these years.
It will be, well,
Well, I'm looking at what you provided with the overall view of what's around there. I mean, we got the bus garage and,
that's about it.
Ashland industrial stuff, and then of course we have housing on the other side of Pleasant View. But that's why I asked to wrap that landscaping around the corner. Because then when you're coming down Pleasant View, there will be less complaining.
Thank you, Mr. Kirk.
Thanks, appreciate everybody's time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You
Sure,
too.
you too.
At this point, we'll open up to the board for any questions or any comments or discussion points. Nothing?
Well, a couple of projects seem to be in the works, but nothing has really happened. For example, the Forest View Restaurant, I think we approved that project almost a year ago. It's still very busy.
it just closed.
Yeah, they just, yeah.
PIPs that were just paid for, permit, or demolition permit was just issued for the restaurant.
Oh,
And we have the building permits somewhat issued pending the approval of the PIPs at the next town board meeting. We will move forward with the project.
So they went through all the lawsuits?
Apparently.
There was a lawsuit, right?
I would imagine.
Yeah.
and it looks like O'Reilly Auto Parts is gonna be in Cheektowaga, isn't it? No?
No, that demolition happened a couple of days ago.
Of the house?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Oh.
gone.
The permits are issued for the installation, the PIPs are Monday night.
Oh.
It's finally taken up as well.
Do you think the other one's gonna go too then, in Cheektowaga?
They're still in environmental review.
No? All right.
And we're trying our best to work our way through some of the projects that have been languishing on our board as well. It was good to see a few of them work their way through today,
Yeah.
and now passed on to the town board.
Can I make a comment about Mr. Thornhurst's property? I went out on my bike ride the other day and rode over and talked to him to look at his piles of gravel. Look nicer once it's graded off and everything. And he there's more issues with the railroad. They come through and just spray with Roundup. They've killed his grass, they've killed everything numerous times.
Grass. That wasn't his grass.
It wasn't his grass, it was the
It was the town's grass.
It was, but he was mowing it, you know, it's somewhat. He whacked it once in a while.
It's stone now.
It is now, it didn't used to be. But he also told me he owns a piece of property across the street, maybe. But anyway, regardless, the railroad is not a good neighbor if you live that close. So I wasn't as, if there's a sheen coming off from Millings, there's probably more from drippy cars.
Yeah, I asked about it because it was a big deal out on the farm. I'll never use it again, and it would rear any animals, because you did get oil coming off of this.
Yeah.
I think there's a pre-washed Millings that you can get that doesn't have that, heights and you know, you
Yeah.
can buy that, so.
I hate it.
It won't affect the park or anything else.
Yeah, it's not a that sheen coming off, like any parking lot where people don't maintain their cars. It's miserable, and you step in it, and then it's in your car. It's a miserable thing. So I appreciate you bringing that up, but he also has the railroad coming by, and when they spray Roundup, they spray, and if it's a windy day, it goes everywhere.
Any other comments from the board? Ed, anything from engineering?
No, just, if anybody's aware or not aware, across from Hillview, where the big commercial development apartments went in, just south of that, there's a new Subaru dealership being put in.
South.
No, before the auto store, but it's the piece of land between the auto store and the,
Oh, that's not part of the,
no, it's separate. Because of the, we just approved them to tap into the sewer.
That's really a huge pile of dirt.
Yeah, that's where they've been moving dirt and digging up all of it. Pretty sure it's a Subaru dealership.
Okay.
They're on transit.
Something else to cram in there.
Who owns it? West Her?
No, I think it's
Northtown? Northtown?
I think it's
The battle's on.
yeah. West Sturgis just opened up their own Subaru dealership like last week, 2 weeks ago.
They what?
West Sturgis just opened up their own Subaru dealership about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, Transit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lockport down there.
Anything else, Ed?
No.
Emily? Matt, anything from the building department? Supervisor Larry?
Yes, we have a new town attorney. I don't know if you've heard or not. Jennifer Strong. She's also the town attorney in Malden. She's got a whole bunch of municipal experience over the years. She's also our IDA attorney. So she'll be coordinating with Emily on all this, and Emily will remain as our deputy attorney. And they're looking forward. Did you get a chance to talk to her yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right, so they'll be coordinating all this good stuff.
Great.
And, yeah, she started this week, and we'll do a resolution at the town board meeting on the 1st. She's available if needed. And I've got some contact numbers and I'll help you guys as well.
Okay, great.
I have a question. We have a moratorium on building big subdivision, multi-family homes. Who's rewriting the regulations?
We have a woman who's looking through this right now, and we're waiting for that to come in, and then my office will probably handle whatever the recommendations are, and actually rewrite it. We have a Word version of it, make changes in there, and then send it for approval through everybody.
But it comes from an outside source.
Wendy's about Wendy's about
Oh, Wendy. There you go.
But again, that's part of it. But again, we're trying to do most of it right here. We're not paying anybody, to do all this work for us.
No,
We're gonna try to make
but
the
you've
changes.
got Wendy working on it. I highly, I've always liked her and her, she's smart. And she's got a lot of experience, and she's done this many times.
She worked on the last one.
Pardon?
She worked on the last one.
Yeah, she did, but I didn't know that she was doing this.
Yeah.
So you agree?
Yeah, we're fine. I just wondered who is doing it, because, we don't see it until it comes in some form of final review. And I just wondered what types of things you're updating in there. So I'll find out.
Yeah, we'll probably have the next meeting when she gets done reviewing this, and then we'll move on to another moratorium meeting, which are generally on Mondays, and we can watch them on TV, basically the same thing as the live streaming here. So, but yeah, we'll move forward as soon as we get something from her.
Yeah, I just wondered who was reviewing it and how it was being done, because it's like this work being done in the background that we're not necessarily privy to, and we don't need to be. I'm not saying that. It's just it's always interesting to see how it fleshes out, because I assume that it'll be of course looked at as how it applies to Lancaster, but it's kind of a the trends, the general trends of development show in these regulations. Good thing.
Supervisor Leary, anything else?
That's it from me, thank you very much.
Last call for anybody. Anything else to discuss? Okay, I will then move to adjourn. Look for a second.
Second,
All those in favor say aye.
now bang your gavel and put it away.
Meeting adjourned. Meeting adjourned.
You're the supervisor, you get to have all the fun.
That's the supervisor.
Well, I mean, the chairman, I'm sorry.
You guys have a great night.
Thank you.
So if you're on the golf course and you need to move your ball, won't that get in the way of the other guys? And it's kind of
Good job getting us there, Cindy.
She's gonna be there.
She's retiring.